EDPNC is a 10-year-old organization that focuses on improving the economic well-being and quality of life for the nearly 11 million people who call North Carolina home. We do that through recruiting new businesses to the state, supporting the existing operations of firms that are already here. We help manufacturers to grow their exports overseas. We counsel individuals who are getting ready to start a brand new small business. And of course, we also promote the state for tourism and leisure travel, trying to get millions of visitors to come here and spend their time and spend their money here in North Carolina. Our success is really dependent on the people who do the work that we are tasked with as an organization, and understanding what's important to those people, trying to balance that against what's going to be necessary for the organization to also produce the results that it's accountable for, while also very much taking into account what it is that's going to allow people to feel like they not only have a career here, but they can have some amount of balance that keeps them fulfilled when they're not working in this job.
This is a first in any job that I've had in my career where being family first is purposeful. They're being thoughtful and purposeful about how we are able to have the time to take care of our families rather than it's part of a package. And especially as a person with no children of my own, we tend to get left behind a little on those types of support structures. And so I think here at EDPNC, they've been very thoughtful for the entire demographic.
Intuitively, you understand that this kind of flexibility can be really beneficial to hiring, attracting, and retaining a workforce. Those repeated conversations that we had with Family Forward opened our own eyes to, okay, well, what are we doing in these regards? If you're balancing a full-time job and at the same time you're responsible for the care of a young child, or some people have to care for an elderly parent. I mean, just to the extent we can grant some amount of flexibility as an organization, I think that's something that people really have come to prize. For us, we've found a good balance with a hybrid work schedule that allows us to have the best of both being together in person, but also granting the flexibility that we know people cherish, really whatever life stage they are, but certainly coming from the perspective of someone who's a relatively new parent, I feel like I have seen firsthand how that flexibility can really be beneficial to the whole concept of a work-life balance.
As a military spouse, my service member doesn't have that flexibility to tell his employer, like, hey, I don't feel like showing up for war today. They can't do that. When companies like EDPNC offer flexible work policies for those parents who want to balance both a career and their families, it just gives the opportunity to be more present. I may not be able to attend all things, but I get to be there for a lot more than what I would be if it was a very rigid type of work policy and didn't think about families first. That's something we hear very often here at EDPNC, is work will be here, take care of your family, and I appreciate that.
What we've noticed about it at the EDPNC is better, happier people, and you can't beat that. If somebody's really happy with what they're doing, I think their work improves. Everything they do improves, and we've seen it. You can see that people feel more connected, not just to their families, but also to the work they do, to the place they live, and to the people that surround them. So it's a tremendous benefit for us.
If family-friendly policies are more widely adopted and they lead to a workforce that is more engaged, in my mind, that leads to a workforce that is also more productive. And the more productive of a workforce that our employers experience, whether they are small businesses or multinational Fortune 500s, if they have the kinds of policies that lead to a more engaged and productive workforce, I feel like that can only benefit the reputation of North Carolina as a place to do business and as a place where employers can tap into the best and the brightest. It not only allows our people to feel like they have that balance, but from a reputation standpoint, we know we're going to continue to have to hire and attract the best to do this kind of work. And if our reputation precedes us in a positive way about some of these accommodations and flexible policies we've made, I feel like that's going to enable us to better attract the kind of people that we want doing this very important work.